All right. We coming through? We got some noise here. Oh, it's not streaming. Okay, how are we doing here? Are we back online? Are we getting things going here? We back? Sound? Check. Ah, there we go. See, that's what happens when you don't stream for a while. Things just fall apart. That's entropy. It just, everything like I had, like cables were unplugged. Things were just falling to pieces. What's up, everybody? It's good to see everyone in the chat. Sorry about that little delay. Hopefully that doesn't affect you guys too much. We're going to play a little Kahoot. We're going to review some of our terms for the practical. We're going to make sure everyone's confident going into tomorrow. Okay, you're going to ace it. You're going to nail it. You're going to blow away all of your expectations. If your expectations are here, this is where you're going to be when you go in. Actually, right here, the top. So I want you, don't worry about it. Okay, nice to see everyone. A lot of people in the chat. Can't say hi to everybody because there's a lot. A lot of people I don't know. A lot of new faces in here. I see you, Mr. Chang. Appreciate you. T-Dub, Tim Watts. Nice to see you again, as usual. Of course I remember you, dude. Matt's Aviation. Who are you? I like your username though, Matt's Aviation. Sanvi, Ojis, Charvi, Kahootie and the Blowfish. You guys know? You guys ever heard Hootie and the Blowfish? Aditya, what up? All right. Tarun, back again for some more. Nisa, nice to see you. Doge. You invest in Dogecoin? You're one of those cryptocurrency freaks. Let's look at where we're at. 38 people. We're gonna do some Kahoot. Maybe I'll just wait just a couple minutes more. What's up, Ansh? $46? That's not a world record. I remember last year when I did the first ever stream, it got up to almost, I think, did it get to 200? It got to like I think 160 or 180 at one point. I don't know if it got to 200, but I peaked. I peaked early, and then it went downhill. Also, I think it's like a hot time for people to come take a look because we got the pig practical tomorrow. So it's just it's a lot of people who are getting nervous about that, which I want to alleviate your nerves right off the bat because it's more nerve-wracking than it actually ends up being. Most of you guys are going to do really, really well. You just got to walk in there confident, and you're going to nail it. There's really no problemo. If you just got to put in the time. This is one of those things where is if you know it, you know it. If you don't, you don't. And if you just get your terms down, flashcard it up, we'll do some Kahoot. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. But should we get started with the Kahoot? How's everyone feeling? I'm gonna try and help out in the chat. So my plan is we'll do the Kahoot, and if on the terms that people like nail, where you guys get them all right, or it's pretty close, like at least. So how about this? I'll go over any term where more than 2/3 of the people get it wrong. Sorry, yeah, more than 2/3. So if at least 2/3 of you guys get it right, we'll just move to the next term. I won't really go over it, but if you do, we'll go over it. And then I'll look at the chat, and if there's any questions that are popping up in the chat, I'll try and answer those as best I can. But again, if we're at like around 50 viewers, it can sometimes get a little dicey. A little dicey. The chat goes a little fast. You know what I mean? So this will be a good test. Honestly, this Kahoot will be a decent test for you to kind of see where you're at. Definitely for the identification part, and a little bit for the follow-up questions, or like the function stuff. Did y'all hear about the fact that we found an anusless pig? There was a pig in Mr. Hajarian's class that did not have an anus, like where the anus should have been. You know, it was just a flat surface, completely smooth. And if you follow, so you know how like the anus is the hole, right? The sphincter in which the rectum exits the body, so all the feces and things would leave from there. So because there was no anus, essentially the rectum was swollen with all that material that was backed up in there. Kind of weird. Can you imagine? What if you were born without a butthole? It'd be a painful way to die. I mean, if you're a human, you could probably have surgery. They could probably like give you an artificial butthole. Like they'll just like cut the anus and make a fake anus for you. But I mean, can you imagine? You want to see the anusless pig, Mahati? I will show you. Actually, the picture is in my email, so let me pull it up. I'll show you guys what an anusless pig looks like. All right, so here's the picture. See right there, you should see an anus. So this is the pig from the top view. It was a male pig. And if you look right here, there's no hole. There's just nothing there. Also, I like the fact that the email was titled Anusless Pig from Mr. H. So, shall we get started? Let's do it. We're at 53. We're going to start. Let's see. How should we start this off? I'm going to say, so here's my question. Do you feel like should we, if I'm going to ask a kind of an opinion. Actually, I have two questions for the chat to vote on real quick. First one, should I leave the game pin up so people that join the chat late, the stream late, can join in the game? Or are there problems with doing that? Because sometimes when we do this, we get people that like to mess around and they go like they'll put bots, they'll do the bot thing, and I don't like that. So I'm going to first start off by saying, do not do the bot thing. Don't throw bots into the Kahoot. It just it ruins it for everybody. But I think leaving the pin is a good idea, but I don't know about the bot. The bot thing can happen whether or not I leave a pin up, so I don't think that actually is related. But don't do the bot thing. There's no point. So we'll leave the pin up so people can join in late. And then the other thing is I need some water. What color should I do my water tonight? Something in my Erlenmeyer flask. What color? So I'm thinking, let's see. I am thinking something related to the dissection. What's a good color? You guys want black? Should I just mix them all? I'll just do a suicide. It'll make it black. I did purple last time. Gray? Parth, I don't think I can do gray. Mahati cerulean? That's too much. Jacob transparent. That's what it normally is. A lot of pink, a lot of green. Oh, but that's just Sonvi spamming pink. The EFG gang, or the EFG. Neon yellow, Gotham. That would be cool, Luke, if I could do a rainbow, like I could layer it. All right, here we go. I'm gonna go get it. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna bring all. How about this? I'll bring the colors I have, and we'll go. I think pink for pig. It does make sense actually. Here, I'll be right back. BRB. Okay. All right. So it actually, so the dyes I have, these are what I have. Green, yellow, red, and blue. So let's put them in there. We'll just mix them and see what happens. I have never mixed them all. So here's what you get if you do, actually. We'll start with red because I see a lot of red. So if I put 1 drop of red in, that's 1 red. Actually, I'll turn it this way so you can actually see it. And then we'll do a drop of green. We'll go a little Christmas, even though it's the opposite of Christmas. There's the green. How about a drop of yellow? And a drop of blue and see what happens. It looks pretty. That's like your rainbow status right there. If I don't mix it. So as soon as I mix it, we'll see. It's probably going to come like to some terrible color. What? The green kind of won out. 1 drop of each and it basically becomes green? What? Guys, I think we just discovered a new property of colors. It literally became green with 1 drop of each thing. We just discovered a new property of colors. Doesn't become brown. We had blue, yellow, green, and red. And it made green? Huh? I learned something new tonight. I guess it's like a darker green, but it's still green. Cheers. Let's Kahoot it up. Let's Kahoot this thing up. We're at 64 viewers. Oh my god. Okay, we're gonna do classic. Let's pull this thing over here. All right, let's do it. See, enable answer streak bonus on, name generator off, podium on, randomized order on. What is this? Adds an extra something. Oh, that doesn't matter. Okay. All right, classic. Let's do it. There's your number. And I'm gonna nix any names that are inappropriate are getting nixed, unfortunately. Let's keep it clean, let's keep it keen. Oh, someone bought it already with cancer cell. Yeah, there is a delay, so don't remember, there is definitely a delay. I wish there was a way to stop people from botting, but I don't know if there is. Is there a way? Or no? There's no way? But how do if I enable two-step join-in, I don't think that matters. Timothy, like, does a two-step join-in actually do anything? All right, we'll have to go back and try again. Let's try a two-step join-in. Let's see how that works. Oh, what? It didn't actually. Why didn't it clear all the people? Okay, let's start this over. Didn't clear everyone out. Okay, let's see if this works. Hopefully this works to get rid of the bots. Oh, the problem is if there's a delay, I don't think it's gonna work because the pattern changes every 5 seconds and there's a 10-second delay. You're able to get in though? Because people are getting in. How'd you guys get in? How are people getting in? How are you? So somehow you're able to get in, even though the delay is... Are people just guessing? This is going to test your skill to get into the game. You have to time it. It's hard. This is the hard part of the game. So 20 people have got the speed. See, this is what happens when someone wants to bot the game, is it makes it like this for everybody. Everyone has to now have to go through this whole annoying process. Oh, nice. People are getting in. Okay, we'll get rid of any names that are not so appropriate. 32 people in. Is it too hard? I don't want to make this impossible for people to get in. You know what? So people aren't able to get in. So here's what we got to do. I don't think it's fair to, so we're just going to have to do it without a bot. We're going to have to be okay with having bots in there. So we're not going to know who wins, but you'll at least get some practice, right? Because there's 80 people watching and only 36 are in, so it seems like not even half the people are able to get in based off this method. That'd be cool if I could change the pattern, the timer on the pattern, but I can't. Yeah, I know, Blue, maybe, but I gotta stay on YouTube for this one for sure, you know. But unfortunately, the delay is a pain here. Okay, we're gonna have to do it. I don't want to make people not be able to play, so let's just one more time. This time it's gonna be with bots, and that's okay. We'll just have to deal with it. That's the unfortunate situation. All right, bring it over here. So no two-factor authentication. All right, guys. We're gonna play with bots. That's okay. It's just the way it is. So rejoin, start fresh. We won't have a really good way of ranking because the bots will ruin it, but you'll at least be able to see your own score. Because we gotta play. It's been a while. We gotta get this thing started. So there's about the delay, from what I remember, is about 10 to 12 seconds. So I've made it enough time so that you have time to answer. There's a lot of people. We had 84 watching and 74 in, so I'm gonna give you guys another 10 seconds. We're gonna start here. Okay. All right, I think we're good. All right, let's try it out. Here we go. I'm gonna start it up. I think, so remember there's a delay, but you should still be able to play regardless. So let's try it. Starting it. 69 questions. Oh shoot, am I gonna block stuff where my picture is? Gotta look at this. Oh, uh-oh. There are some bots in there, or people that are just answering. All right, that's an ovary. It is blurry. You might need to zoom. If you're having a hard time seeing it, my apologies. These are the best pics I have. It says time up too early. So that's a little blurry. The other pictures are a little better. But yeah, that's the ovary. But if it's blurry, but you should be able to kind of tell just based off the location, like other things around it. So if I'm looking at this, it said I see like, I know that this is the urinary bladder right here in the center with the two umbilical veins or arteries on either side. So I'm going up, and I see these tubes. Okay, those are leading to the ends. It's two ends. Those got to be the ovaries. All right. Okay, let's keep it up. Next question. What organs do the cecum connect? Arjun, what's the difference between the scrotum and the scrotal sac? So the scrotum is the pouch that the two testes are in, that's outside of the body. And the scrotal sacs are actually inside of the scrotum, or wrapped around each testes itself. So it's almost like you have two layers. You have the scrotum on the outside, and on the inside you have two testes that are wrapped in the scrotal sacs. All right, good job. Most people got that right. A lot of people thought that was the large intestine and the rectum. Shoot, I did random order. Hopefully that's okay. Because some of the questions, I don't know if they're connected to ones before it. Shoot. Uh-oh. Yes, I knew it. I knew it. Hold on, unless it actually... Oh no, we're good. We're good. Oh no, I'm blocking. B. You're going to slow, Blue? Nice. I think you'll love it. San Luis Obispo was great. I'm a big fan of that place. Charvy, the code is in the bottom of the screen. Bottom left, down here. Nice. Good job. Good job. Good job. Good job. Everyone got that. All right, you guys having enough time now? I have it at 30 seconds with like about a 12-second delay. That should give you 15 seconds to answer, which should be plenty of time. Gavin, I'll link the Kahoot at the end. Here we go. Wow, we're at 94 people watching. Good stuff. See if we can break 100. I wonder if we can get 100 people watching. Trevor, you wish you had more time? All right, the umbilical artery is responsible for which of the following? Carrying waste away from the fetus to the placenta. So this one, just remember, arteries go away. So if it's an umbilical artery, it's going away from the fetus, and if it's going away from the fetus, it obviously would be carrying wastes away, not nutrients. I can't really change the time at this point since we already started, Charby. It's got to be quick. Use this as practice for speed. So onslaught, what the umbilical artery carries away in terms of waste, it's going to carry carbon dioxide as a cellular waste and urea or salt wastes, like waste from metabolizing, waste that would normally be excreted by in the urine from the kidney. Nice. This was everyone got this one. Nailed it. Nailed it. Good stuff. Easy. Easy peasy. Small intestine in the lead. Sanjana, what's up, Sanjana? Can you say salt and water? I need CO2. CO2 is an important one to include in that. Okay. CO2 and salt would be okay, or salts, but I think the best answer is CO2 and urea, to be the most specific. And water is not really a waste product. So. Okay, good. Yeah, the keywords are squiggly tubes. The squiggly tubes is kind of a giveaway, huh? Squiggly tubes. Yeah, it did say tubes in the answer. This one's tricky. Gavin, good question. What is the difference between the placenta and the fetus? So the fetus is the actual developing individual, right? So the fetus would be the pig itself, the fetal pig. The placenta is the organ that connects the fetal pig to the mother. So the arteries and the veins, the umbilical arteries and veins from the fetal pig go to the placenta and connect to the mother's blood supply inside the placenta. So the placenta, think of the placenta as like an organ that connects the fetus and the child. Or sorry, the fetus and the mother. Oh, a lot of you guys guessed aorta on this one. So if you pull up this image, remember the one that's in the front is actually the pulmonary artery. The one that's kind of behind this one is the aorta. Remember, pulmonary artery in the front, aorta in the back. That was tough to see. Yeah. Gotham, I can't really make the photos any bigger. Unfortunately, I don't know if that's even possible. Is it hard to see on your phone? Do you have an iPad or something that you could see it bigger in larger scale? Luke, your question about do you need to know the ureter and the uterus? Yes, you need to know both of those. Well, the uterus, I would not ask you to find the uterus on a practical, but you should know what it does. You should know its function. The ureter, the purpose of the ureter, it's a tube that carries blood from the kidney to the bladder. That's really all it does. It's just a tube that carries blood from the kidney to the bladder. Did I say blood? Sorry, it carries urine. Urine. I'm sorry. I was confused. All right, good job, good job, good job, good job. cat fight outside. I'm gonna close my window so we don't have to listen to that. All right, see you later, man. Amaya, I'll answer your question real quick. The difference between the ureter and the urethra? The ureter or the ureter carries urine from the kidney to the bladder, and then the urethra carries it from the bladder outside of the body to exit the body. So they both carry urine, but just they're in different spots along the urogenital tract or the urinary tract. Nice, good job, guys. All right, see you, Daniel. Thanks for checking in. Oh, good luck. Good luck. All of you that start to dip early, I wish you the best of luck tomorrow on the practical. Mahatya, the cat's okay. I'm sure they're fine. I'm sure they're chilling. Ansh, Mr. Jones, are ADH good and diuretics bad, or the converse? Nice, most of us got this one. Good. It's not that they're not good or bad. Actually, it's not really a good way to think about it. The diuretics just, you know, ADH is something that the body produces. It's a hormone that the body produces. A diuretic is a chemical that we would intake from in our diet somehow. We would get it into our system. And a diuretic would block the effects of ADH, which would just make our kidneys absorb less water. And we would urinate out more water. So is that good or bad? I mean, it's bad if you're getting dehydrated. Yeah. But in small doses, we wouldn't say it's necessarily good or bad. It just depends on the situation. All right, good job. Aria, what are the pancreatic enzymes called? There's not any, there's names for them. There'd be like things like lipases or, you know, there'd be all, you don't really need to know the names of all the specific ones. I don't even know them all. But you just have to know that there are enzymes that are produced by the pancreas that digest some of the biomolecules in our food. Sanjana, is the urethra reproductive or excretory? It depends on if you're talking about a male or a female. If you're talking about a female, the urethra is only excretory. It only carries urine. If you're talking about a male, it carries urine, so it's excretory, but it also carries semen, so it's reproductive. Tarun, do medulla have nephrons too, or is that only the cortex? So if I remember correctly, that you don't need to know this level of detail, but if I remember correctly, I believe nephrons are extend into the cortex from the medulla. So I think they cross both. That was an easy peasy question. Shalini, I'm not sure how you pronounce your name, sorry. Shalini, how does alcohol block ADH? I don't know. I don't know how it does. It just does. It's a diuretic, so it inhibits ADH somehow. I don't know the mechanism. Sorry. Craig, what's up, Craig? Difference between sperm and semen? So sperm is the actual sex cells, the actual gamete produced in the testes. It's what carries the DNA from the male. Semen is what we use to describe all of the fluid that contains the sperm in that semen, but also other fluids that are secreted by like the seminal vesicle and the prostate gland. So semen includes more than just sperm. It includes all the other fluids that the sperm is in. Luke, does the spleen produce white blood cells or just use them? The spleen just, the spleen can help, let me think. I think it helps mature white blood cells. I don't know if it produces them. I think it helps with the maturation process of them. Because I'm pretty sure white blood cells are either produced in the thymus or the bone marrow. And they mature in the spleen. Sorry, I'm missing a lot of people's questions, and I apologize. See you, T-Dub. Have a good night, man. Thanks for checking in. A lot of people got this one wrong. Because the answer is urethra. And a lot of people thought it was the vas deferens. No, you're not. This is a female pig. So there's fallopian tubes up there. And it's not the vas deferens. Arjun, can I explain bone marrow? Okay, so bone marrow is a tissue that's found in the center of bone, and it's basically just the location in which what we call B cells, which are a certain kind of white blood cell, are produced. We also produce, I believe there's red blood cells are produced there as well, if I remember correctly. Good stuff, good stuff. I'm speeding it up because I want to make sure we can get through more questions because it's taken a while. And we got started late because of the whole bot situation and all that. Karun, how do you identify the urogenital opening in the anus in both the female and male pigs? The anus is... How do you identify it? How do you identify it? I mean, for me, the way I do the anus for both male and female is I just go to the tail and I pull the tail down a little bit, and it's literally right under the tail. The urogenital opening in the female will be right above that, like more towards the top. If you're looking from the way the pigs are sat, right in the tray with their abdominal cavity up towards you, the urogenital opening will be right above that in the urogenital papilla. And then on a male, it's actually further up, close to the right below the umbilical cord. So you have to find the umbilical cord and then find the little hole. That's the urogenital opening for a male. Ooh, a lot of people got this one wrong. So what structure is the pin in? You guys thought it was uterus? I could see why you think it's the uterus, to be fair, because it's at that junction here. But look at where they're connected to testes, these tubes. So these tubes are actually not the fallopian tubes, and they're not squiggly enough for the fallopian tubes. So these are actually the vas deferens tubes. Good stuff, coronary artery. Hopefully at this point, after we've gone through a few of these questions, you're starting to feel more comfortable. Hopefully you're getting more confident. You're noticing that they're not too terrible. Nice, 2 possible answers. Keeping on. Good stuff. Good stuff. Nice, nice, nice. Piranha, what does the mesentery do? The mesentery is basically contains capillaries and lacteals, which are vessels that transport nutrients away from the small intestine. So it's like once the nutrients are absorbed by the villi, they pass into the mesentery, which contains capillaries and lacteals, which transports our nutrients away from the small intestines to the liver, where they're processed before they are distributed to the body. So think about the mesentery as that shiny tissue that's connected to the small intestine that contains those vessels. Surya, what is endometrium? Endometrium is the lining of the uterus that is shed during menstruation. So every month an egg is released by the ovary, it goes down the fallopian tubes, and it deposits itself on the lining of the uterus. And when it deposits there, a thick layer of blood vessels grows in order to get ready to supply nutrients and to sort of create an environment for the fetus to develop. But if the egg was not fertilized, that lining is shed during the period or menstruation, and then endometrium is shed out of the uterus and is released from the vagina as, I guess, waste at that point. Bye, Sonia. Thanks for stopping in. Yeah, I wish the pics were a little less blurry, but that's all I got, unfortunately. Is that Miss Lerner on the leaderboard? I doubt that's actually Miss Lerner. I'm sticking around playing. I don't see why she would be playing that long. I mean, maybe. What is the function of thymosin and thyroxine? Arnav. What's up, Arnav? So thymosin is a hormone secreted by the thymus that helps with the development of T cells. And thyroxine is a hormone secreted by the thyroid that helps with metabolism regulation, growth and development. Aria, what is the duodenum? Aside from being like a really fun word to say, duodenum, here it is actually. Speak of the devil, speak of the duodenum. The duodenum is an area of, is the very beginning area of the small intestine. It's the first section of the small intestine, I believe, where the chyme is secreted from the stomach. You don't need to know it to that specific level, but it's a good question. Dia, I think I explained the duodenum just now, hopefully you heard me. Ajit, what was that I just consumed? This is dyed water. People wanted me to, I always ask whenever I do a stream, I ask what color I should dye my Erlenmeyer flask water that I drink. This is just dyed water, it's nothing else. Well, we went green. Actually, what we did today was we mixed all 4 colors and it turned out green for some reason. And I don't know enough about chemistry to know why. When you mix, we mixed red, yellow, blue, and green, and it came out green. So, I don't know. Charvy, what's the difference between the peritoneum and the greater omentum? Good question. Let's see. How did Sanvi? Good answer, Sanvi. That is correct, Sanvi. Good stuff. And then Neo, you helped answer too. Peritoneum covers the heart. Ooh, not quite. Peritoneum does not cover the heart, Neo. Good guess. That's the pericardium. The peritoneum lines the abdominal cavity to protect the organs inside. And the omentum is the tissue, the integumentary tissue that connects the spleen to the stomach. All right, kind of have a top 4 has been kind of locked in. Got Salty Boy in the leaderboard for the last while. Rhea, what other hormones does the thyroid produce? It produces thyroxine, which regulates metabolism, and then calcitonin, which helps with calcium absorption for our bones. Mrs. Chang, do I want to take the Psych Bio midterm? To be honest, if I'm being honest about it, I probably might not help you out if I took that. I haven't really studied it. But I like Psych Bio is really one of my more fascinating things that I like to learn about on my own time. Like evolutionary, to me, evolutionary psychology is one of my favorite things to learn about and think about. But I wish you luck on it. Good, 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 good. Check the question. Pre-onch, is thyroxine the same as T3 and T4? Thyroxine is, so T3 and T4 are two hormones that are produced by the thyroid gland that together regulate metabolism, like heart rate, that kind of thing. Let's see, T3 and T4, I believe that T3 is thyroxine. One of them, and T4 is like a different, like thyroid, I forget exactly, sorry. But don't worry about, if you just write T3 and T4, you'll be fine. Aranya, what system is the urethra part of? The urethra is part of the excretory in both male and female, and the reproductive in male as well. Thanks, Arun. Nice answer. Anch. What's up, Anch? How you doing, man? Nice to see you. Is the fluid that the seminal vesicle produces the seminal fluid? Yes. Yep. It is indeed. The name doesn't lie. Aria, will you have to know the names of all the valves in the heart for the practical? Will you have to know the names of all the valves? We got a new leader, RC, at the top. Salty boy falling down the ranking. We have to know the valves. Yeah, you should know the valves. You should. It could appear. Could appear. Dark matter, I like that one. Buy it before you try it, Amazon. But you're confusing everybody. They have to remember that it's try it before you buy it. Good stuff, good stuff. Amaya, where can you find the epididymis? It's going to be wrapped around the testy. So if you find the testy, and then the tube that makes it, that goes 360 degrees around the testy, that's the epididymis. Arun, I'm pretty sure that's not true. I'm almost positive that there's no way the epididymis is 20 feet long. What's your source on that? Is that true? No way. 20 foot long? Alright, I'm gonna look up that real quick. Oh, if it's uncoiled, it would be. You're right. Dang, I didn't realize that. It's tightly coiled at 6 to 7 centimeters. Wow. I learned something new, Arun. I didn't believe you, but I researched it. That's crazy. And remember, just a heads up, like it's actually probably harder here than it will be on the actual practical, because when you're looking on this one, keep in mind that a picture, you only have one angle and it's two-dimensional and it can be blurry. In real life, you can like go to the side, around. You can't touch it, but you can actually like look around and see other things, and it's going to be much clearer. So it actually, you'll probably do better, be easier than using pictures like this. Yeah, Amaya, if you're, Arnav, about the order, superior artery, the superior vena cava, aorta, and pulmonary artery. Basically, what you want to look at is when you look at the heart directly on, right, the pig's head is sort of further, is pointing away from you. Like, so for example, in this picture right here on the screen, if I'm looking down at the heart, on the left, I would see the superior vena cava, and then in towards the center of the heart, I would find the pulmonary artery coming off of it, and kind of underneath it and behind it would be the aorta. Tarun, the liver is part of the endocrine, no, sorry, not endocrine, digestive and circulatory. Surya, what creates lymphocytes? Probably the thymus. Yeah, the thymus. It's a white blood cell. Lymphocyte is a type of white blood cell. Gavin, in the practical, if we had to state the systems of the kidneys, would you prefer excretory and circulatory? Since urinary is... Kidneys? Oh, good question. I would accept either excretory or urinary for the kidneys. Either. Although, yeah, either. I wouldn't use circulatory though, Gavin. I just wouldn't do it. It's better to say urinary or excretory. Charles, where does the urine go after the urinary bladder in females and males? It goes to the urethra right after the bladder. See you, Tarun. Good luck. Shalini, yes. White platelets, white blood cells, and red blood cells are made in the bone marrow. Specifically B cells for the white blood cells, but not T cells, which are in the thymus. Yummy. Kind of got a locked in top here now. Arnav, is there a difference between the thymus glands and the tissue? No, I mean, we're just gonna, not really. They both do the same thing, so we're just gonna say the location is the difference. Geeta? What's up, Geeta? Nice to see you. Thanks for stopping in. The apex doesn't have a system. No, the apex is, I mean, it's part of the heart. It's just it's an area of the heart. So if you really had to say it had a system, it would be circulatory. But to be honest, I'm not going to ask you to tell me a system for it, so don't really worry about it too much. Arjun, is it partial credit if you say vena cava? Yes. Half credit. Just like it's half credit if you say atrium instead of right or left atrium. So always use left and right, or superior and inferior when necessary. Maximize your points there. And if you don't know, you might as well guess, because you'll still get half credit either if you write nothing or you write the wrong one. Anita, yes, T cells are produced from the thymus glands and tissues. Nice, people are nailing it. Jonathan Ma, I can't see the pin easily. I like how you got a pin emoji. Rishi, where is the umbilical vein and pulmonary vein? You will not be able to find the pulmonary vein. We didn't identify it. The umbilical vein, ironically, is right around. Just take a look at this question. And that's where it is. It's the one we tied the string around in the very beginning. Umbilical vein, right there. It's all dried out. Onslaught, you know the mesentery connects the small and large intestine, but how would it work? How would it look? Yeah, the mesentery is it's a very shiny, almost transparent layer of tissue that's connected to the small intestine. So just look for the small intestine, and then right connected to it is that shiny layer of tissue. This one's cakewalk. 3 easy answers. Nice, that's a fun fact, Mia. If you stretch the small intestine, you can see it. My favorite fun fact about the digestive system that I always tell my students, so if you're my student, you've heard this joke, is that when you think about the digestive tract, right, it's just a giant tube that goes through your body, right? So it's actually, when you swallow food, it's not actually technically inside of you, right? Because if you think about it, your mouth, you trace your mouth, it's just one long tract all the way to your anus. So it's actually not inside of you. When we say inside, we mean like actually in your tissues. So we're actually shaped like a giant donut, right? We have a hole that goes through the center of us. So when we swallow food, it passes through this hole and we absorb the nutrients from the food into us. But the waste just goes right through. So my favorite joke is that when you think about next time you kiss somebody, what you're actually doing is creating a really long tube with a butthole at either end. So that'll make your next makeout session a little bit more romantic. You can't go, Yannick, are you talking about my joke? You can't go through it for the 4th time in a row? Hey, it's a good joke. Gotta use them. Arnav, you will not need to find the sphincters. You may need to find the scrotal sac. How dare you, Dia? How dare you? Oh. This one might have been tricky because of the angle. It's hard to see what it's in, but it's technically in the hole at the very back, so this is technically the atrium. The ventricle would be like the slit right here. Tricky. Again, easier in real life. Nisa, yeah, we cut the umbilical vein, not the cord. Yeah, Charlie, thanks, Charlie. I already have 2 mods, and I think that's plenty for right now, Ren. Plus, you're not my student. That's one of the requirements. I need to know you in person. Okay. Coming down towards the end here. We only have a few more questions left. We'll be wrapping it up pretty soon. What time is it? Yeah, we're gonna wrap it up. We're gonna wrap this soon. Hello, mister. What's your question? How do you find the umbilical artery and vein? Well, the umbilical vein, the umbilical arteries are the 2 arteries that are on either side of the urinary bladder. So just look for the bladder, find those 2 things on either side. That's the umbilical artery. The umbilical vein comes out from the umbilical cord and runs under the liver, but it's the thing we cut in the beginning and we actually tied string around it. So that's kind of like a cheating way to find it. Just look for the thing with string around it. Mr. Nisa, what is the role of hemoglobin? It carries oxygen in our red blood cells it carries oxygen in our red blood cells from our lungs to the cells that it needs to go to. So it's a protein. It's a protein that carries oxygen to our cells. It also carries carbon dioxide, I believe. No, it does not carry carbon dioxide. It carries oxygen to our blood cells. Drops it off, comes back to the lungs, picks more up. The mesentery, it contains blood vessels that carry the nutrients away from the small intestine. Aditya, it does have a little bit, it does hold it in, you're thinking of the omentum, Aditya, the greater omentum. Just talking about the mesentery, it's slightly different. It contains capillaries, which carry nutrient-rich blood away from the small intestine after it's been absorbed by the villi. And I believe it also has lacteals that carries lipids away. So it's got kind of like two, you can kind of think of it as like two different functions. One is capillaries that carry nutrient-rich oxygen, or sorry, nutrient-rich blood, and then lacteals which carry specifically lipids. All right, we're coming down to the last couple questions, so we're almost done. All right, 3 more questions. I didn't actually really want to go this late, but we got a little bit of a late start because it is 9:25, yeah. The greater omentum is something I've explained a bunch, so Arul, yes, thank you Arul for explaining that to Shalini. That is what the greater omentum is. Good job. All right, question 68. Arnav, what parts of the body does the descending aorta deliver blood to? So the descending aorta is it's descending, so it's going down, so you can just assume it's going to the lower body. The aorta would deliver blood to both the lower and the upper body. All right, final question. Final question. This is the last question, guys. We're going to be calling it a night here, so I appreciate everyone who came in. I hope this eased your nerves for tomorrow's practical, because it's actually not as bad as you might imagine. So I would encourage you that you maybe after the stream is done, you go and do a little bit of review. But other than that, I would say just hit the hay, get some good sleep, show up ready to go, refreshed, you know. All right, so that's the end. We got RC, 63 out of 69 questions right. That's not bad. That's not a bad score. MC second, Nisa third, top 5, Salty Boy, and Siri. Good job, guys. Good stuff. I appreciate that. That went pretty well, I think. I'll post the link to the Kahoot in the chat in case you want to go review it before you call it a night. But I think that's it for me. I think I'm going to kind of get out of here because I am about done. I'm a little tired. I had a little bit of a longer day, kind of from start to finish. Pretty crazy. But I guess that's it, huh? All right, guys. Wow, we got up to almost 100 people, huh? That's insane. You guys are nervous. That tells me that you guys are nervous for the practical. If we're getting 100 people on board trying to get on this. But again, like I said, take it easy, relax. You're going to be fine. It's actually way more straightforward than you think. If you were on here this whole night with me and you were doing this review, that tells me that you probably have already prepared and you're good to go. I'm more worried about the people that would not be on the review, right? That would tell me that maybe they aren't putting in the time, but I think you guys are good to go. So good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah, also nervous anxiety is also a good thing. I think there was a study that was done that said that showed the idea of it's how you interpret your anxiety and your nerves that's really the effect. So if you think your nerves or anxiety is bad, it manifests as bad, like it makes you perform worse. But if you actually look at your anxiety or nervousness as like your body getting ready to face a challenge, and you look at it as a good thing, like your body ramping up and like getting ready, it can actually be a positive thing. So think about it that way. If you're nervous, that's your body saying, we're getting into action. We're going to kind of like ramp this up and get started. So, all right. Peace. Cheers, everybody. Have a good night. I will see some of you. Most of you I won't see because remember, I only have about 30 of you. I have one period of bio, but we had almost 100 people watching. So most of you were not even my students. So good luck to everybody. I will see you on the other side. Peace. Later.